So as I told you, if you have any queries or questions or any doubts, just put it in the chat box. I will check it. So let's start understanding geographical terms. Okay. So some of you have just, when you search it and all, there are some videos or classes regarding this terminology explanations and all, but they are only taking some few as for example physical geography or human geography. Likewise, they are only taking a particular branch of geography. They are not dealing with all the things. Why? Because it's not practical. You know that we can't cover all the terms. Many new terms are coming, right? New terms has been added, not only in geography, in every subject. New terms has been added, as well as some old terminologies will be renamed or changed. The name will be changed like that. So it is not practical to cover all terms, but we are just going through the important ones. When you just go through the subject, usually you will see all these terms, and it will be a very useful session for you. You can note it down. Okay, the terms and all. So let me start with A. Why? Because I am just in an alphabetic order. Okay, so A, likewise A, B, C will be going. And from A, the first term I need to introduce to you is none other than air mass. It's an important term in climatology. Okay, air mass. So it's a large body of air with generally the same temperature and moisture condition throughout. Means it's an homogeneous air. A mass of air. It's an homogeneous mass of air. This is the term homogeneous. That means same. So what is same? The temperature and the moisture condition. Or if you see a particular air mass, warm air mass. What it means? The whole mass of air is warm, and we are just naming it. How we give the nomenclature for air mass is based on the source region. That is very important. So based on the source region, we are giving the name of air mass. So most of the climatological terms, the terms which we see in climatology, the name is given based on the region from where it originates. For example, a wind, hot wind. That means a wind blown from a hot area. Likewise, okay, so air mass is nothing but a large body of air with generally same temperature and moisture. Next word is alluvial fan. Okay, so alluvial related, there are a lot of words, but I just take alluvial fan because it's a unique one, and it's an important physical feature also. Okay, it's part of physical geography. So alluvial fan, as you can see in the diagram, it's a cone of sediment deposited at an abrupt change of slope. Even there is another a feature called the alluvial cone also. Alluvial cone, somewhat the shape will be changed, but anyway, when the cone, if it is changed to a fan-like shape, that you could see in the downslope of that escarpment. What we call this region is escarpment or scarp region. So at the below of this, simply the below part of that mountain, there you could see just like a fan shape, the alluvial deposit is being seen. Okay, so that deposition is called alluvial fan. Alluvial is just fine particles deposited by a river, okay, or a running water. Next term, I think you are familiar with this thing, is anemometer. Anemometer. It's an instrument related to wind. Most of you have seen this one in especially in some buildings and all. It's been placed right. So it's an sometimes even wind vane is also almost look like that, but wind vane is different. So anemometer, an instrument for measuring the velocity of the wind. Okay, so the velocity is measured with the help of this instrument, anemometer. And also some it's fixing point also things is given. It's fixed on a post at least 5 meters above the ground. Then only the wind speed and all can be measured. Okay, and it's measured in kilometer per hour or knots. Okay, so anemometer. Then anticline. Next important physical geography term is anticline. It's also used in geology aspect. Okay, geology is also study of earth crust and all. So it's also an important term, anticline. It's an arch in fault strata. There you could see the help of diagram. So diagrams I have been added, but only for few words I have been added diagrams. So with the help of diagram, you could easily understand what that term means. So here it is very clear, the upward part of that fold, right? So it's just the opposite of syncline. Syncline also you could see the depression part. The the sink, what we see, right? Sink, that means the depression. Anticline, the upper part. Okay, so in a fold you could see these two features, anticline and syncline. And if it is in a very large extent, one word is added in front of it, that is geocline. Okay, geosyncline, geoanticline. Likewise also we will use geosyncline is a very huge depression, but here it's the folded arch, it is the anticline, and opposite is syncline. Next one is anticyclone. Cyclone, I think you have heard this word, cyclone, right? 1 week before, means I think last week also cyclone word and all is being used in the news and all, right? Likewise, anticyclone, it's a clear condition. If cyclone is a where you all know that, right? Is a rainy condition, is a clouded, all such things is, and it's not a good condition. Some drastic changes will happen in the weather. But coming to anticyclone, just the opposite. Cyclone is a disturbed condition, while anticyclone, there you could see, look, the bright sun is there. And very important thing is that there will be a high pressure center. There will be around the high pressure center. While in cyclone, the next picture you could see, image you could see, there's a low pressure center. So that's why in a cyclone, the weather is so disturbed and all the air try to whirl around the low pressure. Okay, but coming to anticyclone, there you could see a high pressure center and a clear condition. There, look, clear sky, settled weather. So that is anticyclone. So just the opposite of cyclone. Cyclone is a disturbed condition, a low pressure center and rainy or cloudy condition or such things. Okay. So they could say in a high area of high atmospheric pressure with light wind, clear sky, settled weather. In summer, anticyclones are associated with warm and sunny conditions. In winter, bring frost and fog as well as sunshine. So sunshine will be there, clear condition will be there, but winter, due to the moisture condition and due to some pressure changes, frost, fog, all such things will be there. Then our next word is the last term which I included in A is archipelago. I think that also you are familiar with it. It's nothing but a group of islands. Island, you all know that it's a land surrounded by water on all the sides, so 4 sides. But coming to archipelago, it's a group of islands. Okay, Indonesia and our archipelago. Next, B. So coming to B, it's the Birken. First word you need to know is Birken, related to a arid condition. Again, another landform. It's a depositional landform. Surely you know that if it is desert, who will be the agent or the main force there? None other than wind. Okay. So Birken is a depositional feature by wind, and what makes it special from other dunes is its crescent shape. Okay, look at the shape. It's a crescent shape due to the direction of the wind, the velocity, all such things. The constant direction it will maintain. So that will develop a crescent shape, and it is known as Birken. Next is barometer. Next instrument, like anemometer. Next is barometer, but here it's an instrument used to measure pressure, atmospheric pressure. Okay, millibar, it will be denoted in millibar. So barometer is an instrument used to measure atmospheric pressure. Next is batholith. Next term is batholith. So lith is related to rocks. You all know that, rock or stone. Lithosphere, what we will call lithic age, right? Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age. So that lith means stone, rock, related to that thing. So bath, depth. Bath means bathymeter. We will isobath. Likewise, we will use that word, means deep. Bath means deep, lith means stone. So what actually it means is a deepest rock structure, and it is an igneous rock as well. So igneous rock also, most of you have heard that word, igneous, related to fire or magma. The first or the primary rocks by cooling of magma or lava, when it comes out the surface, it is lava. When it is inside the earth, it is magma. So cooling down of lava makes igneous rock, and batholiths are a large body of igneous material intruded into the earth crust. That means from the magma, there you could see in the diagram, it just comes out, but not, it won't reach the outer. It will reach, but it will take time. But inside the earth itself or inside the crust itself, it gets cooled down. Due to weathering and time passes, these batholiths will be exposed outside, but it will take time. Okay, so the primary formation takes place inside the earth, okay, or inside the crust. So that are batholiths. So it's also a dome shape there, you could see. Then Bay of Bengal, Hudson Bay, also some of the examples. Bay of Bengal, we are all familiar, right? So bay is an indentation in the coastline with a headland on either side. So coming to Bay of Bengal, we can take India's view, Bay of Bengal. There, its headland is there, India, the peninsula, southern peninsula, or our Indian landmass protruding into Indian Ocean. That is one of the important landmass. And the other side also, you could see the Myanmar part as well as the Andaman and Nicobar island groups. That is also an extension, right? So in between that two landmass, Bay of Bengal is situated. So it's an indentation in the coastline with a headland on either side. Actually, bay are small, exception Bay of Bengal and all is there, but actually bay are a smaller this water area. So actually, but compared to Gulf, when we will also discuss Gulf, then you will get an understanding. So bay is an indentation in the coastline with headland. Its formation is due to more rapid erosion of softer rocks. So erosional features or erosional activities create these type of oceanic landforms or in the water bodies. Okay, bay. So in this picture also it is very clear the water is just moved inside the land area, and there you could see two headlands also either side. Then beach, another feature or another depositional feature. Surely who will be the agent here? Beach is near sea or water body, so surely waves, sea waves are the main agent. So beach is a strip of land sloping gently towards the sea, usually recognized as the area lying between high and low tide marks. So we can just keep that thing as a simply beaches are a depositional feature formed by the wave action, sea wave action. Okay. Next is biomass. Next word is biomass. The total number of living organisms, both plant and animals, or flora and fauna in a given area. So biomass is nothing but the total number of living organisms, both animals and plants in a given area. Next word is biome. When we study even environmental science, also these words are being used there. So biome is a complex community of both flora and fauna, or plants and animals, in a specific physical climatic region. Okay, so it's a complex community of plants and animals in a specific physical and climatic region. There are different types of biome like tundra, taiga, savanna, likewise we will say. Next is biosphere. Bio, life, sphere, the region. Okay, so the part of the earth which contains living organisms, bio, living or live or with life. Okay, so it's a part of earth which contain living organisms. So there are other spheres: atmosphere, air; hydrosphere, hydro, water. Next, lithosphere already means litho, the rock sphere, the land. So lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, all combined to form biosphere. Okay, so we can say it's an intermediate junction of all these spheres. So biosphere contains a variety of habitats. Why? Because it's a living community, right? From the highest mountains to deepest ocean. So all the things, the lithospheric, hydrospheric, even the climate means, the atmosphere, all are interlinked in this sphere. Then only life is possible. You know that. Why Earth is exception with other planets? Why? Because of this sphere, biosphere. Other planets even have some of have lithosphere. All the terrestrial planets have lithosphere in it. Even gaseous is there. Some planets have trace amounts of gases. Atmosphere is also there. In every planet's atmosphere is there. Okay, don't want any confusion that only Earth has atmosphere. Every planet has an atmosphere, but the composition is different. That is important. Coming to Earth, the composition is slightly different to sustain life. That is a different. But all planets will surely have an atmosphere. Okay. So, but biosphere is the unique thing which make Earth a living planet. Next word is bituminous coal, not simply coal, bituminous coal. Sometimes called as house coal. Why? It's a medium quality, it's not high grade or nothing. It's a medium quality only, but also not very less quality or poor quality. Poor quality, there is peat, lignite and all is there. But coming to bituminous coal, it's a medium quality with some impurities. Okay, it's not pure, so that is why it's a medium quality with some impurities, and the typical domestic coal. That's why house coal. It is also called house coal. Simply what we use in charcoal and all will come under this. It's a major. It's also the major fuel source of thermal power plants. Okay, why? Because we in thermal power plant they can't use a high grade core, anthracite and all they can't use. Why? Because it's costly. It's not they can't economically feasible if they use anthracite or high grade coal and all. So bituminous is a medium grade coal or quality coal used in thermal power plants and all. Okay. Next is block mountain or host. Block mountain. There, with the help of diagram, surely you will understand. A section of earth crust uplifted by faulting. Okay, fault. So just fissure or a break in the crust. So due to that faulting, what will happen? A section will be uplifted. So the uplifted part is host and the downlifted or the downward part is graben. Okay, so host graben related to faulting. So host is the upward or uplifted part of or section of the earth crust due to faulting. Okay. Next word is bushfire. Okay, bushfire. Very famous means in the recent 2 years before, or I think not 2 years, 3 years before, Amazon bushfire is one in the news and all. I think you have heard about it. Amazon bushfire, even Australian bushfire. Likewise, bushfire is common. So it's a uncontrolled fire, forest fire, simply forest fire, and in the grasslands and forest and all. Okay, it's an uncontrolled fire. Next, C. Coming to next alphabet, C. Caldera. The important geological term or physical geography term is caldera. It's a large crater formed by collapse of the summit cone of a volcano. Volcano is a landform formed due to volcano. That means when magma comes out due to the lava activity and all, volcano will be formed. And at the top or the summit of volcano, it collapsed. That means that thing you could see in that image, it is very clear. The top part of volcano. And this caldera may contain subsidiary cones. There you could see, just like step or terrace, there are subsidiary cones will be formed in some calderas. Or if the water, sometimes due to rainfall in above the volcanoes and all, rainfall will be active due to that convection currents and all. Cloud formation will take place and rainfall will be there, and water will be deposited or being trapped inside this caldera, creating crater lakes. So actually it is a crater, you know that there is a big hole. So it's a crater, and when water is filled into it, a hot water will be filled known as crater lakes. Next word is canyon. It's a deep, steep-sided river valley occurring where rapid vertical corrosion means it's a weathering activity. So corrosion takes place in the arid areas. So actually canyons are erosional feature of running water or rivers. Canyons are erosional features formed in the upper course or the first course of a river, flowing or running water feature. And very famous canyon, you all know that Grand Canyon on Colorado River, USA. It's an example. There you could see that Grand Canyon also, and the river, Colorado River flowing also. So rivers create these canyons. Canyons, trenches, likewise gorges, likewise different terms based on the altitude it may change. Okay, so canyon, gorges all are almost same, but height is different. So canyon is nothing but a deep, steep-sided river valley occurring where rapid vertical corrosion, that means downward movement, vertical corrosion or vertical erosion takes place. Next word is cartography. Cartography related to maps. So what it means, it is nothing but the science and art of making maps or the technique of drawing maps or chart. Chart and maps are different, but anyway, we can go with maps. It's nothing but the art and science of making maps. Okay, cartography. And one who makes maps are known as cartographer. Okay, cartography, cartographer. Okay. Next word is CBD. It's a word from our terminology from urban geography. Okay, or settlement geography also you can say. So central business district, what it means. So this is a central zone or a core of a town or a city. Central zone. Okay, and it is characterized by very important high accessibility. That's very important. Accessibility. We also know that when we just visit a city, there will be or an important capital city. Most of these CBDs are located in capital cities. So when we visit a capital city, there will be a place where all the things, you could see all the shops, all the mall, or everything. You could access everything in that particular place. So that particular area is called a CBD. Okay. And land value, you all know that, right? The land value of that particular place will be very high. Even for a rent or to own that place, a particular area in that CBD is very difficult because of the high value and limited space also. Okay, congestion is there. So because there is no open space available, everyone will be occupied by in that area. Very important thing is maximum accessibility. That is very important. Next is a word from again climatology, cirrus. Cirrus clouds. Actually, cirrus is a type of cloud. It's a high, wispy. High means high altitude, very high altitude clouds. Wispy and strand-like thin clouds associated with advance of a depression. Depression means the pressure condition change. So these types of cirrus clouds you could see in a very sunny day, and it's in a very high altitude also. So most of you have seen this type of cloud in a clear day. So these are wispy, high strand-like clouds. Then cliff. That is also a familiar word to most of you. Cliff. It's a steep rock face. Most of you could see cliff on a coastal area only. So surely cliff is a erosional landform created by sea waves. Again, coastal area. Who is the agent? Just like beach. Here also the agent is none other than sea waves. Okay, so cliff is a steep rock face between land and sea, the profile of which is determined largely by the nature of coastal rocks. The nature of coastal rock means whether it is soft rocks or hard rocks. Surely, which rock will have a tendency to erode? Hard rocks or soft rocks? Surely, soft rocks, right? So, due to the wave action, the soft rocks will be eroded and the hard resistant rocks will be left over. So, creating a feature called a cliff. Okay, almost it will look like there are the various shapes and all like this. Okay, cliffs will be formed. So, water wave action will be active here and the soft rocks will be eroded. Alternative stratas will be there. Okay, soft, hard rocks will be there. So the soft rocks will be eroded while the hard rocks will be left out. So these types of features are known as cliffs. So next word is climate. It's a common word familiar to all of you. Climate, weather, it's a climate report and all, right. So climate, very important thing which we can distinguish from weather is climate is long term. Climate is a long term aspect while weather is short term. Weather of today's weather, yesterday's weather. Likewise, we can say, oh, weather at a particular point. So point of time, weather is a condition of atmosphere at a particular point of time. While coming to climate, it's a long-term process or a long-term condition. So it's an average atmospheric condition prevail in a region as distinct from its weather. Okay, a statement of climate is concerned with the long term. So we are taking 30 or more than 30 years. Okay, so that is the period to determine a climate of a region. So for example, climate of India is tropical monsoon climate. Tropical monsoon climate is the climate of India. How we determine? taking the climatic or the weather conditions or the climatic conditions prevail or the atmospheric condition for 30 or more than 30 years. And if there is a change in it, so after 30 or after 50 years, if the atmospheric condition change, we call by the name climate change. Okay, surely we can say that, right? For the last few years, not only India or not only most of the part of the world, climate change is concerned. Okay, or it's a burning issue nowadays. Why? Because the change, atmospheric condition changes. Nothing is static. That is very important. Okay, nothing is static in the world. Everything is changing. So next word is continental drift associated with physical geography. Continental drift. It's a theory, continental drift theory. So the theory that the Earth's continents move gradually over a layer of semi-molten rock underneath the Earth crust. Okay, we call by the name plates. These semi-molten rocks can be called by the name plates or lithospheric plates. So these lithospheric plates will move, and this motion or this drift came to be a theory known as the continental drift theory. And it is thought that the present day continents once formed by a supercontinent called Pangaea, as well as the surrounding water body is Panthalassa. Okay, the mega ocean and the mega continent, mega ocean and mega continent, Pangaea and Panthalassa. So Pangaea, from Pangaea, the landmass, continental drift happens, and later after millions of years, what we see today, right? The 7 continents came into being. Next word is continental shelf. The seabed bordering the continent. So continental, the word is there, continental shelf. So surely, even though it is a water related to a ocean feature, why it is called a continent? Because it is adjacent to the landmass or the continent. Okay, so it's a seabed bordering the continents, which is covered by shallow water, usually less than 200 meters. So that is a feature of continental shelf. Likewise, there you could see clearly in that diagram, after continental, coast is there. Coast surely it is completely on land. There is nothing, water won't be there. When you visit a beach, you could see all these features, but we won't enter into all such things. In some places, this continental shelf will be very less wider. So surely the continental slope will start. That's why in some beaches and all, they will guide us. Don't go just near the water. Why? Because the continental shelf will be very less in that region. So after continental shelf, the slope comes known as continental slope. Then a slight rise will come, that is continental rise. Then the plains, the deep plains beneath the ocean. So this is the structure of a ocean, or what we can say, the coastal area. Continental shelf, continental slope, rise, then plains. Next word is contour lines. Okay, so it's also a term when we just discuss relief and all, or just when we want to draw a region on a map, contour lines will be helpful. For that purpose, mainly with these contours and all are being used. Okay, for mapping, for cartography, these contours and all are used. Contour is a line, it's an imaginary line or a line drawn on a map to join all the places at the same height above the sea level. There you could see, here there is a mountain, a 3D diagram they have shown, and look at, based on the height, so many irregular lines or circles have been drawn. So that is what this contour means. So just with the help of the contour lines, we can just redraw the physical feature, whether it is a slope or means mountain or a depression or whatever the feature, we can just get it from the contour lines. So next term is core, C-O-R-E, core. There are 2 meanings for core. In physical geography, that is a common core, what we all know, crust mantle core. Okay, crust mantle core. So just when we just take the bisection of a there you could see crust mantle core. Crust is the crust is the outer part. Crust we will discuss anyway. So crust is the outer part. while core, the inner core and outer core and inner core. Okay. Outer core and inner core. So core is nothing but the innermost zone of the earth. It is probably solid at the center and composed of iron and nickel. Solid at the center. That means the inner core, it is solid. Why? Because of all the pressure from the layers above. The inner core is solid and composed of iron. That is Fe. And nickel, Ni. So we can say by the name knife. Okay. So core, the main constituents of core is nickel and ferrous, or we can just short it by the name knife. Next, in human geography, the another word meaning of core is already we discussed when we discussed the CBD, the central business district. So it's a central place or a central region, core of the city or core of the town. Okay, where all the economic and all of the political activities will be concentrated. Next word from physical geography is cirque. It's a bowl-shaped hollow on a mountain side in a glaciated area. Very important. So cirque is a feature you could see in a glaciated area, or it's a glacial feature. It's a glacial erosional feature and the area where a valley glacier originates. Very clear from this diagram. There could see many features. Name is given horn. From that, that is why diagrams are important in geography. So if you have any confusion in any terms in physical geography, the diagrams will help you. With the help of diagram, you will get an idea. Oh, okay, this is that feature, that particular feature. Don't need a definition. Even without the definition, if you know the diagram, it is very easy. So mains exam and all, any questions related to physical geography and all, you can draw the diagram. That is very important. Okay. So it will fetch you marks. Why? Because diagrams will surely help you. Geography, mainly, it is also concerned with the diagrams, drawings. Okay. So look at this diagram. Almost all the features of a glacial erosion means a landform is shown. A glaciated area is shown here. Horn, the summit, that region. Arete means that sharp edges. Cirque, it's a bowl-shaped hollow where the valley forms. What type of valley? Since it is a glacial area, no, edges won't be perfect. So a U-shaped valleys will be formed. Okay, since it is resembling a U shape, the valleys in glacial areas are called U-shaped valleys. Okay, U-shaped valleys. U-shaped valleys. Okay. While coming to running water, since vertical erosion and all is very active in running water, unlike glaciers. Glaciers are somewhat thick, right? Glaciers are nothing but moving ice. Glaciers are nothing but moving ice. So there, the edges and all won't be perfect. So a U shape. While coming to running water or rivers, the valleys formed will be perfect V-shaped. Okay, so we can say in running water areas, the valleys are called V-shaped valleys. Why? Because of that shape of the valley. Then coming to glacial areas, it is U-shaped valleys. So that is a different. U-shaped valleys are related to glacial erosion. Okay, or in the tundra regions you could see. While V-shaped valleys related to running water or rivers. Then almost all spur, we already discussed spur or escarpments and all is there. Then hanging valley, that is also related to U-shaped valley. Or there you could see the green color U-shaped trunk valley also you could see. So cirque is nothing but a bowl-shaped hollow on a mountainside in a glaciated region. Next word is crevasse, again related to glaciers. Crevasse, a crack or a fissure in a glacier resulting from the stressing and fracturing of ice. Stressing means just moving apart. Okay, or what we can say, it's a tensional force moving apart. Okay, so it's from stressing and fracturing of ice at a changing gradient or in a valley shape. So it's nothing but a fracture or a crack, or fissure, or fracture, not a fissure or a crack in a glacial area. That is what crevasse means. Next, as we already discussed core, so surely we want to discuss crust. It is the outermost part of or outermost layer of the earth. representing, but compared to core is very constituting one of major portion of the Earth's interior, while core very less volume only it will constitute 0.01 percentage only. Even though it is the outermost part, very less volume it is constituted. It comprises of both continental crust as well as oceanic crust based on the region where it is. If it is if the crust is covered with more ocean, it is oceanic crust, or just the crust below oceans are known as oceanic crust, and crust above continents are known as continental crust. And the chemical characteristics, characteristics all will be, physical chemical characteristics will be also different for both oceanic crust as well as continental crust. And very important, the crust together with the uppermost layer of the mantle, the crust along with the uppermost layer of the mantle is known as lithosphere. So lithosphere is not just simply the whole crust plus upper mantle. Okay, the crust plus upper mantle will gives you, crust is very, you all know that crust constitute only less volume. So the crust plus the upper mantle. Mantle are also divided into two, upper mantle and lower mantle. So crust plus upper mantle will gives you lithosphere. Okay, then core also, outer core and inner core is there. So just like that, the Earth interior is divided. So lithosphere is nothing but crust plus upper mantle. So the diagram is there. There you could see crust, upper mantle, core, outer core, and inner core. Inner core is solid, outer core semi-liquid. Then next important word, cumulonimbus from climatology. Again, we already discussed one cloud type, cirrus, high altitude strand-like clouds are known as cirrus clouds. But coming to another word, another type of clouds based on the form of the cloud, it is known as cumulonimbus. Cumulus is a type of cloud plus nimbus. Nimbus is a word related to rain. Nimbus. So cumulonimbus, it's a heavy, dark cloud of great vertical at height or altitude. Okay. Surely, since it is dark means the amount of water content or the water particles in the cloud is so high, so sunlight won't passes into it. That's why these clouds are dark in color. So if it is less dark or white colored, as we are seeing, just like a cotton ball when we are seeing in the sky, white is white color. Why? Because the sunlight is passing through it. And coming to cumulonimbus clouds, white is dark color due to the high concentration of water droplets or water particles in it. Sunlight won't passes into it, or it is opaque to sunlight, so it is dark in color. Okay, and surely cumulonimbus clouds is associated with the rainfall. If we see cumulonimbus clouds in the sky, surely we will say yes, the rain, surely it will rain now. It is a typical thunderstorm clouds, and also thunderstorm, lightning, and all is associated with this type of cloud, that is cumulonimbus clouds, producing heavy showers of rain, snow, or hail. Based on the type of precipitation, it may change. In tropical areas, it will be rain, while in temperate regions, or if the condition changes, it will change to snow or hail. Then next type of cloud is cumulus clouds. Already we discussed cumulus is nothing but they say about a cotton ball like clouds, very just like a artist when we draw, when we are asked to draw a cloud, we will draw cumulus clouds. Okay, because it is very easy to draw cumulus clouds. That's like that. It's a ball of cotton, right? So cumulus clouds is a large cloud smaller than cumulonimbus with a cauliflower. You know, that's a vegetable, cauliflower head and almost horizontal base. Horizontal base, that is important. That is why when we draw a cloud, when we ask to draw a cloud, we will just draw a line, then cauliflower head like thing we will draw. Okay, that is the typical cumulus clouds. Okay. Surely it is related to clear sunny condition. So coming to D, next we can move to D. First word is dam. It's a barrier. Dam also we are familiar with the word dam. It's a barrier across a running water, built across a running water, stream, river, any flowing water, river or a estuary to create a body of water. A body of water means a reservoir. Dams create reservoir. Water will be reserved in it for future use, for hydroelectricity, for irrigation. All such things, we just tap the water. We'll reserve the water. So the one side of dam is known as reservoir. Next word is deflation, related to wind action. So it is nothing but the removal of loose sand by wind erosion. Surely wind is active in which region? Desert areas. So this deflation is a word which means a movement of wind which carry or remove or transport loose sand from an area. So actually deserts are created by this force or this action, deflation. Okay, so wind action creating deflation causes desert formation. And if it is more, surely sometimes it will expose the rock structure. So there are rock deserts. Unlike sandy desert, what we all know, Sahara or Thar desert and all are sandy desert. When the deflection action is more, the rock surface or the bedrock will be exposed outside, creating a rocky desert sand. Next word, very important word, is delta in physical geography or related to a river landform. The landforms created by river, depositional landform, delta. Delta is actually a Greek letter, right? Resembling a triangle. Alpha, beta, gamma. Likewise, a letter is delta. And you all know that delta is triangular shape. So here also, look, here also you could see a triangular shape deposition is created by the rivers, where, look, at the end of the stage, or we can say that the lower course. Upper course is there, where canyons and all are created, gorgeous canyons and all are created. At the end of the river, or at what you can say at the mouth of the river. Actually, this region is called the mouth, where a river discharges into another water body, whether it is a ocean, sea, or even into another lake or another river, whatever feature, when the region is known as a mouth. So at the mouth of any river, deltas, and we can't say that all rivers will create delta, only with a good load only. Load means the sediments which carry. So with a river with a good amount of load or the sediments only, that particular river can create a delta. Okay, that's why not all rivers are creating deltas. In the western coast of India, rivers are not creating delta. Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, and all that states, western coast of India, rivers, the peninsular rivers are not creating delta. But in the eastern coast, Bay of Bengal side, rivers are creating delta. Why? Because of the load they carry. Okay, Godavari Delta is a Krishna Godavari Delta, very famous delta. Then Sundarbans Delta, the largest delta in the world in West Bengal, Bangladesh, covering even not only West Bengal, even it extends towards most of the parties lying in Bangladesh. Okay, so Sundarbans Delta. Why they are creating delta? Ganga, you know that. Ganga, Brahmaputra, not only Ganga, Brahmaputra rivers, they carry lot of sediments, so surely have a tendency to create delta. Next word is DEM or DEM, digital elevation model. It's a word from geoinformatics or geographic information system. Okay, GIS. Representation of the relief of a topographic surface. Okay, there you could see clearly with some colors, right? A surface is digitally created. Digital maps have DEM, digital elevation model. Next word, just like deflation and all, it is also another erosional process. It is a wearing away of Earth's surface by the process of weathering and erosion, denudation. Okay, denudation, denuding, that means weathering, eroding a particular part of the Earth's surface, denudation. Next word is depopulation, depopulation, depopulation. Population, we all know that. It's a total number of people living in an area. Population, total number of people living in an area. Okay, so depopulation is nothing but is a long-term decrease in the population. It's a long-term decrease in the population of any given area, frequently caused by economic migration to other areas. Economic migration mostly, sometimes economic migration, that means for job or any other related, we will migrate from a region. Otherwise, due to some pandemic condition, just what we see during COVID time, depopulation may happen, or even political instability, what we see in Russia, Ukraine, Sudan and all recently, depopulation may happen there. Okay, so that is what depopulation, long-term decrease in population. Next word is desert, another common word we all just studied or we heard this word, right? But here why I include it, because there are different types of deserts. So it's an area where all forms of precipitation are so low. So don't think desert means always, whenever we hear desert, the picture comes in our mind is a sandy area, camels, date palms, oasis, right? That is the first thing which comes into our mind when we hear desert. But actually that is not the case. It's an area where all forms of precipitation, we already discussed some types of precipitation, rain, snow, hail, hailstone, all such things, right? So the snowfall is there, not only rainfall, snowfall, hailstone, all are types of precipitation. So in desert, all forms of precipitation is very low. Okay, very few millimeters or centimeters of rains will be overall in a year they will get. And as well as the vegetation is also very important. So surely when the water level is low, surely the vegetation is also low. Deserts can be broadly divided into different types, especially 3 types. Hot desert, surely in tropical area, what we are commonly seeing are hot desert, Sahara, Thar desert, the Great Indian Desert, all are hot desert. Atacama desert and all are hot desert, occur in tropical latitudes in regions of high pressure where air is sinking, high pressure, air is sinking, and therefore making a rainfall unlikely. That means rainfall won't happen there much. Okay, very little amount of rainfall will be there. But coming to temperate desert, occur in mid latitudes just above the tropics. Okay, in areas of high pressure condition, there they are far inland. That is the specialty of temperate desert. While hot desert, mostly Sahara, Thar and all are mostly concentrated in the western side and all. Okay, western side or near the coast and all. But coming to temperate desert, they are inlandly located, inland or continentally located. So moisture bearing winds rarely deposit rainfall. Here also the water content or the rainfall condition is very low. Next is cold desert. We know Leh Ladakh, right? Leh and all are examples of cold desert in northern latitude. So surely above the tropic means mid latitude or temperate area. So hot desert, tropical area. Temperate desert, surely in subtropical or temperate areas. Cold desert in the polar, near the polar. We can't say completely, even in polar regions also. Antarctica, the largest cold desert in the world. Antarctica, fully ice covered. Okay. So here also high pressure condition, rainfall won't be there, but the climate is different. Extreme climate. That is the thing. Desert means not always hot. Okay. Extremity is there. Daytime, very hot in hot desert and temperate desert, while nights are very cold. Okay. In cold desert, throughout the year cold. Then desertification, just like depopulation, we discussed the term depopulation here, right? So desertification is also same thing, but related to the word desert means nothing but its region changes into a desert. Actually, desertification means depopulation. The word we can use similar, but an encroachment of desert condition into an area which were once productive. That means related to the productivity, we are using this word desertification. For example, a region A is productive earlier, but due to some conditions or due to some unscientific agriculture practices or due to less rainfall or due to some irrigation problems, that particular area is less productive now. So we can, that means nothing grows there. Okay, so that condition is known as desertification. Next word is dew point. Okay. Dew point, another word related to climatology, dew point. The temperature at which the atmosphere being cooled becomes saturated with water vapor. So surely this condition, dew condition and all, takes place during winter months, November, December, January, that month. Why? Because long cool night is needed. Long cool night is needed for this particular condition to take place, and dew point is actually the temperature condition where dew takes place. Okay, so that's why dew point is a temperature where this dew formation happens. And dew is created, that is simply the droplets, water droplets at the blades of grass and all. You are familiar with the dew in winter months and all. Just when you wake up early in the morning, you could see dew in front of your house, that means in garden or in the plants and all, in the blades of, or in some soft surface and all, these dews are formed. Okay, so cool long nights are needed, and the particular temperature where this saturation and all takes place is known as dew point. Next word, distributory. Very important word related to delta. Okay, so delta formation need distributaries. So here also you could see distributaries. So there will be a main river, and at the end, the main river will be having many outlet streams. Okay, that is what distributaries mean by. Okay, so that is distributaries. It's an outlet stream which drains from the large river stream, often found in delta region. So it is a means delta regions is associated with this distributaries. Okay, Haldia river, Haldia, or no, sorry, not Haldia, Hooghly river. Hooghly river in Calcutta is a distributary of Ganga. Okay, Hooghly river, the distributary of Ganga. Just like there are so many distributaries for larger rivers. Then next word from climatology, doldrums. Okay, doldrums. Actually, it is a wind. Doldrums are wind concentrated in 0 to 5 degree north and south of equator. Okay, they are actually winds and equatorial belt of low pressure condition. Whether the trade winds converge. So doldrums is actually it's a region where the winds converge region. Another word we can use is ITCZ. Okay, doldrums or ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone. ITCZ. Okay, almost related to the equatorial region. That is why I told you 0 to 5 degree. The region where you could see it is 0 to 5 degree. Up and here the winds are light and variable, but strong upward movement will be there, and caused by this convergence produces frequent thunderstorms and heavy rain. So actually this region is not good for navigators or the sea travelers and all. So these doldrum regions are actually nightmares for the navigators and all, travelers, ocean travelers, ocean explorers during ancient time and all. Doldrum regions are actually the nightmares for them. Next word is drainage. I think you have heard about drainage. It's related to river system. So the removal of water from the land surface by process such as stream flow or infiltration is known as drainage. Drainage is nothing but the river system. Okay, the river system flowing in a particular area, drainage. What we say, for example, drainage of India. There we can divide into two drainage systems. Himalayan drainage system, which is concentrated in the north. Okay, Himalayan drainage system and peninsular drainage system. So there are two drainage systems in India. The upper part, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Indus River, all and its tributaries all will come the Himalayan drainage, while the peninsular drainage, Narmada, Tapi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, all comes under the peninsular drainage. So nothing but the removal of water, the running water from the land surface by the process such as stream flow or infiltration. Infiltration means below the surface also. Next, dune. Okay, we already discussed one dune, Birchens, in the start of the session. Crescent-shaped dunes. Likewise, crescent-shaped dunes. So likewise, the dunes are nothing but a mound of ridge of drifted sand. There you could see, whenever we already discussed a desert, when we discuss a desert, the picture comes in your mind is nothing but the dunes, sand dunes, occurring on sea coast as well as in desert. Not only in desert, even in sea coast also sand dunes, due to wind action it will create. Next word in geology comes from geology, that is dike. D-Y-K-E, dike. It's a vertical. With the help of this image, it is very easy for you to understand what is dike. Dike is a vertical or semi-vertical igneous intrusion. So igneous intrusion. Okay, so dikes actually formed inside the crust, but due to what time passes, when weathering, erosion all happens, dikes will be exposed outside, just like this. You could see a dike here, occurring where a stream of magma has extended through a line of weakness in the surrounding rocks. So, for example, just I am drawing here, magma is there. Beneath here, magma is there. When magma comes out through some fissures, cracks and all, and here there are hard rock structures. Hard rocks will be here. So magma comes out, and here are all soft rocks. So these soft rocks will be occupied by this magma or lava anyway, and it cools down here, and the surrounding areas here and all are hard rock stratas. Okay, so that won't affect, that means the magma won't intrude into that region. So the vertical sections, just like here you could see, the vertical sections are known as dike. So next we can move to E, alphabet T, eastings. It is a word which we use in cartography and all. Easting is nothing but, there you could see from the diagram anyway, the lines which we draw towards the east, actually, okay, towards the east direction. This is west, this is east. So the lines we are vertically drawing, actually the vertical lines are eastings. The horizontal lines which we draw upwards is known as northings. Okay, northings means we are drawing the lines upward, that is towards the north direction. Eastings means we are drawing towards the east direction, that is eastings. Here 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 are eastings, where 41, 42, 43, 44 are northings. Why it is called a northings? Why? Because it is going towards north. Why it is called eastings? Because it is going towards east direction. Okay, east, west, north, south. So eastings are first element of grid reference. Grid is nothing but combination of northings and eastings. Okay. Next word is ecology. You already know ecology. Ecology is nothing but the study of living things, their interrelationships and their relationship with the environment, ecology. Then ecosystem. It's a natural system. System. Whenever we hear a word system, we have in our body, there are so many systems. System, even a computer system, even where everything is connected. That is what system means. Okay, there is an interconnection between all the things. So here is also a natural system. Ecosystem means eco, natural. The natural system comprising living organisms and their environment. Okay, so there the relationship, ecology, just what we discussed in ecology. Here also the system, they have been one is dependent on another. Next word is El Nino. We can just simply, you all know that we can't, in all the words whatever we discuss in this session, all have a very deep concept need to be discussed behind it. But due to time concern, we can't just go deep into all the such things and just going it. So El Nino is also just another concept in climatology. Even with this class, we can't just discuss what is El Nino, and just simply telling it's an occasional development of warm ocean surface or warm ocean currents along the western coast of South America. Okay, that is Peru, Ecuador side. Actually, the Peruvian coast. Ecuador is in the north of South America. Anyway, it is in the Chile, that means in the Peru coast, Peruvian coast. Okay, when you just see the South American map, okay, South America, here the Peru is located here. So in the Peruvian coast, there is a warm ocean uprise will take place, warm ocean current uprise take place. So that is what called El Nino. The just opposite is La Nina. Next word is equator. Equator, it's nothing but an imaginary line, or what we can say, it's a 0-degree latitude. Simply, it is 0-degree latitude divides the Earth into two hemispheres, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Actually, equator is latitude or great circle, because all latitudes are circles, right? Revolving, or just we can draw it like the circles, and the 0-degree is called the equator, the center great circle. Next word is erosion. Already we discussed many such denudation, weathering and all. So similarly, erosion is also just a wearing away of Earth's surface. But there are many agents. Already we discussed few agents. Sea waves is an agent. Running water or rivers is an agent. Glaciers is an agent. Okay, wind is an agent. Already we discussed many words related to all these agents. So erosion is nothing but erosion. We call all these things as erosional agents. Running water is an erosional agent. Wind, glaciers, sea waves, all are erosional or gradational agents. Next word is estuary. Estuary. The broad mouth of a river. Again, with the help of this diagram, it is very easy you to understand the word estuary. Mouth of a river where it enters the sea. But there is it's not just simply a mouth of a river. Actually, they are formed at the mouth of a river. I already told you, mouth is nothing but the area where the river drains into another water body. So an estuary forms. There are some conditions to form an estuary, where opposite condition to those favorable to delta formation need to take place. That means delta formation, when we discuss delta formation, we discuss that heavy load or heavy sediments need to be there for delta formation. Okay, that is why in India, the eastern coastal plains, in eastern coastal plains, deltas are formed due to heavy load condition. But in the eastern coast, including Kerala, Karnataka and all, estuaries are formed. Okay, estuaries are formed here. Why? Because less sediments, very important, smaller sediment load, which makes estuaries to form. Okay, opposite of delta formation. Next word is exfoliation. Exfoliation. It's a form of weathering. Actually, it is a form of weathering where the outer layer of the rock or boulder shear off due to alternative expansion and contraction. That means the alternative weather condition, cooling and sudden warming or hot condition, cooling, then hot condition, due to this change in our alternative expansion and contraction, a rock's outer surface, just like peeling off the outer part of the onion, that is also exfoliation. Just like we are just peeling the outer layer of an onion, right? Just like the same thing. If it happens in a rock, it is called exfoliation. Okay. Next, coming to F, fault. Already we discussed faulting. Okay, faulting, horse graben and all. There we discuss faulting. It's nothing but a fracture in the earth crust. There, simply look. This is what faulting. So when faulting happens, one part will move upwards. Surely another part will move downwards. The upward part is the horst, and the downward is graben. Okay. Already we discussed horst at the start of the session. So faulting is that. Next, floodplain. Horst we discuss in block mountains. Okay. So faulting results in block mountain formation. Just like this, one part will move upwards, the other part will move downwards. Okay. Why? Because of this faulting activity. Next is floodplain. Next word terminology you need to understand is floodplain. Plain formed due to flood. Simply that is what floodplain. Okay, a broad flat valley floor or of a lower course of a river. So where it forms? In the lower part. Floodplains are formed just like deltas. Before deltas and all, floodplains are formed. Okay. Or before estuaries, floodplains are formed. Surely alluvium, it is composed of alluvium. Next, fault. Just like faulting. Faulting is just a fissure or a crack. But folding is compression, just from two directions. A landmass will be folded. Just like we are folding a book. Okay. So folding is nothing but a bending or buckling of one's horizontal rock strata. Many faults are a result of rock being crumbled at the plate boundaries. Okay, so mountains are formed due to faulting activity. Unlike block mountains due to faulting. We already discussed later. Means not earlier we discussed, but faulting due to compression. Faulting. Very important fault mountain in the world is none other than Himalayas. The great Himalayas in Asian continent. Okay, Himalayas is formed due to compression. Due to the compression activity, fault mountains, young fault mountains. There are a lot of fault mountains, Andes, Aravallis, all are fault mountains. Next word is front. The first word we studied in this session, when the start of this webinar is air mass. So front is nothing but, or front is nothing but a word associated with air mass, where the two air mass or cold air mass and warm air mass meet. The boundary, the meeting point is known as front. There you could see a warm air mass moves upwards, a cold air mass descends, and that boundary, the boundary line is known as front. Coming to G, syncline, we already discussed anticline again in the start of the session. Anticline, the arch of a fault, and syncline, the depression or the opposite of anticline. Coming to syncline, here geosyncline, the large syncline. In the start of the session also I just mentioned geosyncline. It's nothing but a large syncline. The picture, the diagram is also helpful for you. There you could see a large 10 kilometer. Look at the depth, 10 kilometer. Not simply a syncline. Geosyncline, geo, earth, large. Geosyncline, 10 kilometer. The depth may move up to 10 kilometers. Next word is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy. The thermal energy or the hot energy created beneath the earth's surface. Okay, or anything from the earth is geothermal energy. So some words from the term itself we will understand what it means. Just like this word. Thermal energy, we all know that. Due to coal or some other activities happen. Mainly coal, petroleum and all are used to generate thermal energy or the hot energy. So geothermal, the hot energy generated beneath the earth or from the earth crust. So here a method of producing power from heat contained in the lower layers of the earth. We know that when we move downwards or when we move down the earth crust, the temperature and the pressure increases. So tapping that heat beneath the surface, geothermal energy is created. Then glacier. Next word is glacier. Already we discussed glaciated landforms and all in the previous words. So glacier is nothing but, I already told you, moving ice. Simply it is moving ice. A body of ice occupying a valley originating in an ice. Okay, so surely the tundra regions have glaciers. The largest glacier area is Siachen Glacier in India. Okay, but now in Pak occupied Kashmir, anyway, Siachen Glacier. Then Gondwana Land. Gondwana Land. So it's a southern hemisphere supercontinent. Okay, Gondwana Land and Laurasia. So two land area when we just discuss the continental drift and all, Pangaea, Panthalassa. The Pangaea gets split into Gondwana Land and Laurasia. So the southern part is Gondwana Land. Here Laurasia. Likewise, two landforms are created, splitting up of Pangaea. And mostly the southern continents like even India is also part of Gondwana Land. Okay, why? Because India is split from that part and move upwards. So America, South America, Africa, India, Australasia and Antarctica, part of all these continents, the current continents are once part of Gondwana Land. While Europe, North America, all such regions and all are part of Laurasia. So next word is grid reference. Already we discussed eastings earlier. So grid reference is nothing but that method of specifying a position on a map. Okay, grid reference, that means with the help of latitudes and longitudes or with the help of northings and eastings, we are just saying grid reference. Next, Gulf. We already discussed Bay. The start of the session, Bay we discussed, right? So at that time I told you, the Bay is actually a small exception is there, Bay of Bengal. There two headlands will be there. Okay, so the water body is just endured into it, creating a bay. Just like that, here also, it's a large coastal intention. Large coastal intention. Bay is small coastal intention. Exception is there. Bay of Bengal is an exception. Bay of Bengal is very large, but other bays and all are smaller. Okay, why? Because gulfs are large. Gulf of Mexico, very famous and important gulf in the world is Gulf of Mexico. Is larger than Bay of Bengal. Okay, so Gulf is a large coastal indentation similar to Bay but larger in extent. That is the word you need to remember. Exception again, Gulf also have exception. Coming to the Gulf countries, why we call that countries Gulf? Because of this feature. Okay, Red Sea, even Arabian Sea, all are just indented into that land area, creating means Arabian Gulf, especially that region and all, right? The Red Sea region and of Gulfs are created. So Gulf is a larger extent. Gulf of Mexico is perfect example, while Bay is small coastal intention. Then H, coming to next alphabet, H, habitat, ecosystem, ecology, biome, habitat, all have relation. Habitat is a preferred location for a particular species of plants and animals. Okay, for example, the habitat of kangaroo, Australia, habitat of giraffe, Africa, just like that, we can say that the preferred location. Okay, there the living condition is suitable to that particular plant or animal species. If we just move them to another area, it won't suit them. Just like the cheetahs introduced into India. Okay, you know that a few days before also one cheetah died. So why they are not going in a good manner in India? Because of this habitat change. Okay, habitat. Next word is hemisphere. When we discuss equator or 0-degree latitude divides Earth into two hemisphere, and so surely Earth we can resemble it as a sphere. So half of the sphere, hemisphere, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Okay. Next, hurricane, cyclone, typhoon. All our words have similar meaning. Okay, that's why I included all the things into one. So hurricane or cyclone, typhoon, based on the region where it formed, the name changes. Hurricane mostly in American side, North America and all. Cyclone in tropical side, India, Bangladesh, all this region, cyclone. Typhoon and all in where? Japanese side and all. Okay. So a wind force 12 on the Beaufort wind scale. Beaufort wind scale is the scale which we measure the wind, the speed of the wind and all. Okay. So one having a velocity more than 118 km, 118 or more. Okay. Sometimes it may exceed 200 and all. Just like what we see in here. Mocha cyclone just hit a few days before in Myanmar, Bangladesh coast, 240 or 260 km per hour. That is the speed of that cyclone, Mocha, recent cyclone. Just like that, hurricanes are also these cyclones or these types of wind system or low pressure centers surely have more than 118 km per hour. Hurricanes can cause great damage by wind as well as from storm waves and flood. Why? Because sometimes if it is moving from a water body, it creates strong waves, storm wave surges and all will create it. Just like a small tsunami condition will be created, but it's not tsunami, but high waves and all are created in the coastal side. Next words and all are mostly related to water. Hydraulic, hydrosphere, hydrological cycle, all are related to water. Hydraulic action, the erosive force of water alone is known as hydraulic. Hydro related to water. Hydraulic action, the erosion or erosive force of water. Next, hydrological cycle, nothing, simply water cycle. Okay, the cycling of water through land and sea and atmosphere. Okay, evaporation, condensation, transpiration, precipitation, all will come under that. Next word is hydrosphere. We already discussed biosphere. Just like that, hydrosphere, the water sphere, including all the water bodies, ocean, sea, ice sheets, everything will come under that. Hygrometer, next word is another instrument. We already discussed anemometer and barometer. Now another instrument, hygrometer, which measures relative humidity. What humidity? Relative humidity. Humidity means nothing but the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. water content in the atmosphere. So relative humidity, there it is a ratio. Okay, relative humidity is actually a ratio. So here what we discuss is a relative humidity. So hygrometer measures relative humidity. So now let's jump into the letter I. Ice age. I for ice age, starting with ice age. It's a period of glaciation. When we come, just go back to geological history. Ice age is a geological period of glaciation in which cooling of climate leads to development of ice sheets, ice caps, and valley glaciers. So some regions, especially the Iceland. Actually, Iceland is now there are glaciers. I'm not telling ice age is full of there is no ice there. But actually, Iceland, there is a country called Iceland. You all know that, right? But when you visit Iceland, or just when you search the pictures of Iceland, it is not like an Antarctica or a region. Means a ice covered, fully ice covered region. But there are ice, what glaciers and all are ice capped mountains are there. But it is a green, what? It is a Greenland actually. Okay, but Greenland is there. The word only green for them. The largest island in the world, Greenland. But it is full of, it's a small Antarctica, or it's a fully ice covered region. Why this change happens? During the ice age period. During the last ice age, Iceland was once ice covered, but changes into a normal land area. But Greenland changes into a ice covered area during the last ice age occurred in the Earth history. Next, ice cap. It's a covering of permanent ice over a relatively small landmass. For example, Iceland, they are just mentioning Iceland because ice cap you could see. I told you we can take Himalayas, ice cap is there. Okay, snow line. Actually, snow line. There is a line called a snow line where that is the limit of snow covered in a mountain. Just like ice cap is a covering of permanent ice cover. Himalayas and all, even in that Kailas mountain range and all, with permafrost or ice cap region is there. Next, iceberg. We are all heard about iceberg, Titanic and all. So iceberg is common to all of you. So it's a large mass of ice which has a broken off from the ice sheet or a glacier and left floating in the sea. Sometimes floating. Otherwise, if it is a water body, we are seeing an iceberg here. But actually, there is a huge part beneath the ocean. Okay, we are just seeing only a small portion. From our POV, it's only a small portion outside, but a large portion will be beneath the ocean. Next, igneous rock. We are all familiar with. Already we discussed about some types of igneous rocks and igneous rock formations, like batholith and all. So here, nothing. The cooling of lava, when magma comes out and when it cools down due to temperature change, it forms primary rocks or igneous rock. Okay. Sometimes they also form inside the earth crust, like basalt and all are an example. Next, infiltration. Infiltration. Gradual movement of water into the ground. Infiltration. The word inside, infiltration. Next, IDL. International date line. Equator we already discussed, that is 0 degree latitude. Just like that, there is a 0 degree longitude. Okay, so just behind this, there is 180 degree longitude known as IDL, international date line. Why it is called international date line means towards east and west, the date changes. There is a 24 hours difference will be there. Okay, that's why it is known as IDL. It's an imaginary line, just like prime meridian or equator, just like all imaginary lines. It is also an imaginary line. The area of the world just east of the line is 1 day ahead of the area just west of the line. So that means the countries in east will be 1 day ahead of the regions in the west, just like India and America, what we can say. So it's a huge gap, right? If it is day here, there will be night. In USA, it is night. Why? Because it is the other side of idea. Next, intrusion. Okay, intrusion is also related to igneous rock. It's a body of igneous rock injected into the earth crust from the mantle. Batholith is an intrusive form. Then batholith, laccolith, all such things already we discussed. All are intrusive igneous rock. Why? Because they are formed inside the earth crust. Intrusion. Then island, I for island. A mass of land surrounded all sides by water. Surrounded all sides by water. Then isobar, iso, same. Bar, barometer, pressure. So bar means pressure. So isobar is an imaginary or a line joining points of equal atmospheric pressure. The places having equal atmospheric pressure are joined by these lines, irregular lines, or these types of lines called isobars. Then isoheat, isoheight. Okay, sorry. Isoheight, it's a line related to rainfall. Height is related to rainfall. It's a line on a meteorological map joining places of equal rainfall. So HYET, height, is related to rainfall. Bar related to atmospheric pressure. Isotherm, thermometer, temperature. So it's again an imaginary line on a meteorological map joining places having equal temperature. So isobar, pressure, isoheat, rainfall, isotherm, temperature. Then let's move to J, joint. The vertical, with the help of picture it is very clear. J, vertical or semi-vertical fissure in a sedimentary rock. Very important. Joints are formed mostly in sedimentary rock. Why? Because it is easy to crack, or sedimentary rocks are not much hard compared to igneous and metamorphic. Okay. So contrasted with the roughly horizontal bedding planes. Anyway, there you could see joints where one sedimentary part is joined with the another one. So this part is called a joint. Okay. So joints are mostly formed in sedimentary rocks. Next, karst topography. Karst topography. KARST. Related to underground water. Related to underground water. Underground water. So karst topography is an area of limestone. Very important. Karst. Why the name comes is there is a region in Europe where it's called the karst region, where limestone features. That's the same image I have used here. Look at this area in that image. There you could see that region. It's actually a limestone formation, full of limestone features. But there you could see so many halls called caves. That huge halls there you could see are called caves. So inside these caves, there are so many features created. Why? Because of the underground water erosion. It is also an agent, erosion agent. So due to underground water erosion and deposition features, karst topography will be created. Next is kettle hall. Okay. So a small depression or a hollow in a glacial outwash plain. So kettle hall is a erosional feature in glacial plains. It's also related to glacier action. Okay. They are related to glacier action. Next, laccolith. Batholith, already we discussed batholith in the start of the session. Here comes another igneous intrusion called laccolith, and very importantly, it is dome shaped. Okay, it's a dome shaped, often considerable dimensions will be changed, but body of viscous magma which is intruded into the strata of the earth crust. Okay, called a laccolith. So batholith, just like batholith, laccolith is also an igneous intrusion. Next word also familiar to most of you, lagoon. Lagoon. There are two meanings. Both are almost same, but lagoons in Kerala and all there are lagoons. So it's an area of sheltered coastal water behind a bay, bar, or tombolo. Tombolo we will discuss. So tombolo is just land connecting to land areas. Okay. It's created by wave erosion. So Tompolo, just like that, this lagoon is also created. Most of the lagoons are created just like that near the ocean area or sea area. Okay, that means an area sheltered by coastal water. So surely it is brackish or salt water. Lagoons mostly have salt water, and it is formed near a ocean or a coastal area. Then another features of lagoons are created in the coral areas. Okay, in this picture it is shown as a coral lagoon. Okay, in Lakshadweep or in Maldives and all, you could see coral lagoons. Next word is latitude. Very, very important term in geography or physical geography is latitude. So actually, the degree, how it is measured? It's measured from the equator, north and south of the equator. Okay, that is why, look, with the help of this image, I will show you. Equator is 0 degree, right? So from equator, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, likewise up to 90 degree. How it is measured? Just like what we are measuring angles. So that's why 0 degree, 10 degree, 23.5 degree. We are telling or we are just denoting it with the degrees. If it is north, we are denoting it with N. If it is south, we are denoting it with the S. Okay. So latitudes are always denoted N and S, that is north and the south lines, imaginary lines, or actually they are circles. Why? Because there you could see, you can draw like this, they are actually circles. So how they are measured? They are distance north or south equals measured in degrees of angles at the earth center. So from here, just like here, what is shown in this image, from the equator, or take it as a base, when we measure 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, likewise it goes. So latitudes are distance north or south measured in angles from the equator. Laurasia, we already discussed Gondwana land in southern hemisphere, where Australia, South America, Africa, Antarctica are once part. Just like that, the upper part of Pangaea is known as, the northern part of Pangaea is known as, of the supercontinent is known as Laurasia. Current North America, Europe and Asia, excluding India. Asia excluding India, that means Russia, China, all part, were once part of Laurasia. During continental drift, they move apart, okay, and formed the current continents. Next word is lava. You all know lava, magma. When magma comes out, it is known as lava. Lava cools down, creating or forming igneous rocks. Next, leaching. We already just discussed few words related to this erosion, like denudation, deflation, or such words and all. Here again, leaching, exfoliation, all are words related to that. So here also same thing, but what happens here is the process by which soluble substance, such as especially mineral salts, are washed out of the upper soil layer into the lower soil by the rivers. So mostly it happens in laterite rock structures, laterite areas. So this laterite soil is formed due to leaching. Okay, very important. Laterite soil. The reddish color soil, laterite soil, the most important soil type of Kerala, northeast states and all. So this laterite soil is formed due to this leaching process. So leaching means the soluble substance will be washed downwards due to rain or other water flow. Then levee. The bank of a river raised above the general level of floodplain by sediment deposition during flooding. So levees are actually associated with the floodplains. We already discussed floodplains. So here also you could see, just like an embankment, a raised portion. The raised portion formed near the floodplains due to flooding activity. Next word is lignite. Lignite. Already we discussed bituminous coal. At that time I told you it's a medium grade coal, medium quality coal. But coming to lignite, again somewhat lower than the grade bituminous. It's a soft form of coal, harder than peat. Peat is very soft, but harder than peat, but softer than bituminous. Hope it is clear to you. So peat is the very low grade coal. Next, lignite, then above that bituminous, then anthracite. So these are the varieties, or these are how the coal formation takes place. Very lower level peat. Next, lignite. Next, with 2 minutes, above the high grade coal, anthracite. And lignite, very important when you study lignite in India, Indian case. Neyveli in Tamil Nadu is the lignite coal field. Neyveli in Tamil Nadu near Chennai is the largest lignite coal field in India. Okay, Neyveli in Tamil Nadu. Next, loess. Loess also we discuss when we discuss sand dunes and all. Okay, so what this loess is nothing but a fine, very fine silt deposit, often considerable thickness, transported by wind. Again, here wind comes. So sand dunes or burkens all are formed due to this loess deposition. Next, longitude. So surely when we discuss latitude, longitude also need to be discussed. Again, it is also an angular distance measured from Greenwich meridian or the prime meridian. Okay, so they are also angular distance measured from the 0 degree longitude or prime meridian. It runs east and west, eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. It is running. Next, coming to M. Magma, already we discussed lava. So magma is a molten rock beneath the earth. Mantle, already discussed core and crust. So surely we need to discuss mantle. It's the largest concentric zone of the earth compared to core and crust. Crust only very 0.01%, very small quantity volume. But coming to core also, it's larger, but mantle is the largest concentric zone. There you could see upper mantle, lower mantle and all we discussed. Then another layer is there comprising the upper mantle and the lithosphere, that is the asthenosphere or the magma zone. Where from this asthenosphere, the magma comes out during volcanic activity. Okay, so the mantle or the asthenosphere is the main source of magma. Next word is map projection. Map projection. It's a method by which curved surface of the earth is shown on a flat surface map. That is what map projection means. Map projection. Cartography and all, mostly they are employing this map projection techniques. There are so many map projection. We need one or two classes for that and all. So just map projection is nothing but a method to convert the curved surface into flat surface. Then maritime climate. Maritime, a word related to ocean. Maritime is a word related to ocean. Okay. So a temperate climate, maritime climate, here it is climate. So it's a temperate climate that is affected by closeness of sea. So maritime, a word related to ocean or a sea. So it's a temperate climate associated with the sea, giving a small annual range of temperature and a cool summer and a mild winter due to the occurrence of sea. A moderate climate is shown here. Then maximum minimum thermometer, another instrument. Already we discussed anemometer, barometer, hygrometer. Here comes thermometer, not simply thermometer. In geography or in climatology, thermometer is known as maximum minimum thermometer to measure the maximum temperature of the day and minimum temperature of the day. Maximum temperature is recorded at 2 p.m. every day and minimum temperature is recorded before sunrise. There is not actual time because sunrise may change every day. So before sunrise, we will measure the minimum temperature of the day. Maximum temperature will be recorded at 2 p.m. every day with the help of this maximum minimum thermometer. Next word in physical geography is meander. Meander. As I am drawing, you could see the zigzag movement of running water or a river. Why this zigzag movement? Surely there will be some obstructions here or some depositions here. Surely a meander is formed in the middle course of a river. Delta we discussed in the upper course, floodplain. Delta in the lower course. Delta, floodplain, all such things are in the lower course. But meander occur in the middle course. Okay, it's a large bend, especially in middle or lower. Sometimes in lower. Most of the cases it is in middle course itself, and sometimes it may move to lower course. Then a meander is a result of lateral corrosion. Lateral, that means towards the side. When we discuss canyon and all, we discuss about what vertical correlation. But coming to meander, lateral correlation towards the side, which becomes dominant over vertical correlation. That means after vertical correlation, lateral correlation or the horizontal towards the two sides, it may take place and the river course get changed. Okay, and it will move in this zigzag manner, or called as meandering or meanders. Next word, a very common word to all of us, monsoon. Surely the news and all you have heard, 4th of June, southwest monsoon is 4th of June. What is coming? The southwest monsoon is coming. Okay, so monsoon is a common word. It's actually not rainfall. Okay, it's a wind. So strictly it means a seasonal wind. That is why they are telling strictly. Why they use strictly? Because it's not actually rainfall. But in India, they are bringing rainfall. Okay. Why? Because it is blowing from the water body or sea. So anyway, it's strictly a seasonal wind used in generally to describe. Usually to describe a situation where there is a reversal of wind action. Okay. Surely to describe reversal of wind. Why? Because the direction changes. In the case of monsoon, Indian monsoon also, you know that southwest monsoon is there, northeast monsoon is there. So that's why reversal of wind direction takes place in monsoon. Then moraine, again another glacial deposition, moraine, glacial term. A collective term for debris deposited by glaciers or ice bodies in general. There you could see moraines, and there are so many types of moraines, lateral moraines, terminal moraines, based on the place where it is formed. Okay. Coming to N, national parks is an area of scenic countryside protected by law from uncontrolled development. Okay. So it's a protected area, national parks. NP, national parks and all, you know that. Mainly, this protected means here to conserve the natural beauty as well as enable the public to visit. So it is another important. National parks can be visited. We all know that every national parks in India and all we can go and visit. But there are some areas where it is completely protected, known as reserved forest and all are there, where we are not, or the common people are not allowed to enter. Only authorities are the permission to enter. So even we can go national parks for leisure and recreation and all. Northings, already we discussed eastings, which is moving towards east, while northings are moving towards the north. It's part of grid reference. Nunatak, another word again related to glacier, a mountain peak projecting above the general level of ice near an ice sheet. Here, with the help of that image, it is very clear, projecting of rock surface above the glacial area. Then coming to Oxbow Lake, again related to meandering. So when this meandering happens, there is a tendency for the deposition, when the deposition is more, surely this meandered hedge will be broke, and mostly it form like a oxbow, like almost like this, just like a oxbow, a crescent shape, crescent or that oxbow like shape. A lake is originated from meandering, abandoned. Just in the below image, it is very clear. Now there you can't see any meanders aside it, but once it was a meander, but now it is abandoned where erosion is breached between the bends. So here the water will be, that is why lake. Here the water is stagnant, but after many years the water will be just will be evaporated, or it will be dried up and left just like a landform, or just like a plain land there. So, okay, so we can't say always throughout the year water will be there. Sometimes it may dry up, creating just like a shape. Next, ozone, very important, ozone layer. You have heard about ozone layer. It is actually it is a protective layer. Even though ozone is poisonous gas, but in our atmosphere it is a protecting layer from the what it protects? The UV rays from the ultraviolet rays from the sun. Pangea. Already we discussed Gondwana and Laurasia. So from where this Gondwana and Laurasia break up? from the supercontinent known as Pangaea. During the continental drift, it broke. Peat, bituminous coal we discuss. Lignite we discuss. Peat, it is a lower, very lowest grade of coal, partially decayed and compressed vegetative matter accumulating in areas of high rainfall and poor drainage. That is another case. Next, peneplain. Very important word in physical geography is peneplain. It's a region that has been eroded until it is almost level. Okay, so it is a region that has been eroded until it is almost level. That means there you could see many irregular structures or irregular forms here you could see. The more resistant rocks will stand above the general level. That means the soft rocks will be eroded, only the resistant rocks left over. That is what a peneplain means. Permafrost. We already discussed about an ice cap, the ice covered part of a mountain. Just like that, permafrost is a permanently frozen subsoil almost in the tundra regions. Okay. So in the valleys and all, or in Antarctica, Arctic regions, Greenland and all, it is permafrost region. That means throughout the year ice is covered. Plateau or tableland. Tableland. That is what plateau means. It's an upland area with fairly a flat surface and steep slope. That is very important. Steep slope and flat surface. That is what a plateau. Plain, plateau, mountain, solar landform. Then plate tectonics. Tectonics, very important term. The theory that Earth's crust is divided into 7 large and rigid plates. Okay, actually we have 7 continents now. But this 7 plates means not only the continents, even oceanic plates are also there. Okay. When a plate comprises of more ocean, just like the Pacific plate, there you could see here, Pacific plate is one of the 7 major plates, but it is not continental plate, it is a oceanic plate. Okay. Another word, plucking, again related to glacier feature, process activity. A process of glacier erosion whereby during the passage of valley glacier or other ice body, ice forms in cracks and fissures, drags out material from the rock face. Plucking, just like we will write pluck, we means pluck the rose or pluck the flower and all we will use. Just like the same thing. With the diagram, it is very clear. There you could see, due to gravitational force, it will move down. And also the main force acting here, or the main cause is glacial movement. So it will pluck the rock from that area and it will move downwards. Then plutonic rock. Igneous rock formed in depth. Plutonic, in depth. In the earth crust, it's known as plutonic rock. Batholith, already we discussed. Batholith, laccolith, dike, already we discussed dike. All are plutonic rock forms. Pot soil, it's a type of soil in taiga regions. There you could see the picture. Canada and northern Russia, that is Siberia regions and all. You could see this. Pot soils, the major soil type in the world soil type. Population explosion, very common term, explosion. That means increase in population. And especially this population explosion occurred in 20th century. Okay. So during the 20th century, this is 21st century, started from 2000. So during 1900, especially after the World War and all, especially after 1950s, population explosion happens in the world scenario. Okay, I'm not talking about 1900 to 1950 because it is World War period and all, right? World War I and World War II. So after 1950, that means the third world countries and all began to rise. So surely population explosion happened, especially in India and all after the independence, 1947, population explosion happens. Next, pothole. Actually, the image which I show here is a third road. Okay, we are familiar with this thing, potholes in our roads and all. So actually, potholes are created by even waterfalls or running water. Okay. So a deep hole in the limestone regions caused by enlargement of joint through dissolving effect of rainwater. So sometimes it happens in limestone region, right? Limestone is a sedimentary rock, soft rock. So surely it is easy to erode. So pothole is nothing but the larger form of kettle. Kettle holes we discussed, kettle holes. Just like that, here pothole. Then when this pothole again become larger depression. It is known as plunge pool. Okay, potholes are smaller depressions. Okay, so when it changes to larger depressions, plunge pools will happen. Especially in waterfall regions, you could see all these things. When you visit a waterfalls, you could see all these features, potholes and plunge pools. Then prime meridian, 0° longitude is known as prime meridian or Greenwich meridian. Why it is called Greenwich? Because it passes through Greenwich, the place called Greenwich in London, and especially the Royal Observatory in London. That place is in Greenwich. Next word is pyroclast. Rocky debris emitted during volcanic eruption. So pyroclastic materials are materials erupted during volcanic activities. Q, coming to Q, quartz. Quartz is one of the common minerals found in earth crust, form of silica, that is silicon and oxide silica. Most sandstones are composed of predominantly quartz. They are also called another rock called quartzite. Very hard rock, it's a metamorphic rock, resistant rock formed by metamorphism of sandstone. Sandstone is actually a sedimentary rock. So due to the metamorphic activity in this sedimentary rock sandstone, quartzite are formed. Okay, quartzite. Coming to R, again another instrument, rain gauge. Very simple from the word itself, rain gauge. I think you are all familiar with the rain gauge. It's an instrument used to measure rainfall. This is the instrument, how it looks like. Then rapids, the first form of waterfalls. Okay, rapids. Here the water will be flowing like this. Then at last a downfall, a great downfall will happen to the water, creating waterfalls. So the first form of waterfalls are actually these rapids. Okay, it's also very danger, just like waterfalls. They are also slippery areas, slippery areas and all that. Again, soft hard rocks. Why this happens? The soft rocks will be eroded, and the hard rocks will be left to remain. Look, resistant rock, less resistant rock, creating this step-like feature called rapids. Next, reef. We are common with coral reef. Okay, so reef is nothing but the ridge of rock, sometimes sand or corals. Not always corals, sometimes ridge, sometimes rock, sometimes sand also. Sand ridge is there. Okay, whose top lies close to the sea surface. Look, this is how reef is formed, and in between the land and the reef, lagoons are formed. We already discussed lagoons. Okay, so lagoons are formed in between this reefs and the land area or the coastal area. Relief, the difference in height. Relief is actually the difference in height. Okay, from mountains to plateaus to plains to the sea level, base sea level. So that is what relief means. The difference in height between any parts of the surface. And different colors are shown also in maps and also different relief features. Dark brown to light brown we are giving. Then remote sensing. Next word is remote sensing. Remote, far away place. Sensing with the help of a sensor, we will sense the information. So it is nothing but the gathering of information with the help of electronic or sensing devices in satellites from a remote area. That means those areas which we can't access, deep forest or beneath the ocean, just like that we use remote sensing. Then reservoir, already we discussed dam. At that time I told you it's an sometimes naturally or artificially created lake or reserved water. RIA, the submerged river valley caused by rise in sea level or subsidence of land relative to the sea. Okay, so RIA is a subsidence feature of sea action. Okay, due to the sea level rise and or due to the subsidence movement, RIA is created. So it's a submerged river valley caused by rise in sea level. Ribbon lake, another important feature. Ribbon lake is a long, relative, narrow lake, usually occupying the floor of U-shaped valley. Again, U-shaped, associated with glacier. Okay, so ribbon lake is also formed in glaciated valley. Richter scale, th is silent. Richter scale, you are already familiar with the Richter scale related to earthquakes. Okay, seismograph, seismology, and okay. So a scale of earthquake measured describe the magnitude. Very important. Magnitude of an earthquake is measured with the help of Richter scale, while intensity of the earthquake is measured with the help of Mercalli scale. There are two types of scale. Intensity is measured with the help of Mercalli scale, and magnitude, we are already means almost telling magnitude in the news and all. What 7 point this much, 4.2 Richter scale in Richter scale, that is magnitude. Okay, and recorded in seismograph. Then Rift Valley, African Rift Valley, and all you're familiar. So Rift Valley is also due to transform plate boundary. Transform plate boundary means plate moving to the two sides. So these types of rift valleys will be created. There you could see a rift valley will be created. It's a section of earth crust which is being down faulted, faulting, again faulting action. River basin, it's another important word. River basin. It's an area drained by a river and its tributary, sometimes refers to as catchment area. So the other word of river basin is catchment area. For example, a river is tributaries, distributaries, everything is there. The whole area comes under the river basin or catchment area. For example, Ganga river basin, the largest river basin in India. Next, savanna. It's a grassland. It's also a bio. The grassland region of Africa. Not the grassland we are familiar. We are familiar with some grassland full of greenish cover. Not that grassland. Savanna is actually, when you see any Discovery of National Geography channel and all, there you could see the game area. We call such areas a game area. That means a cheetah chasing a deer, a lion chasing a tiger, chasing another its prey. Okay, that area you are familiar with that. What a brownish colored, that means a dry area. So such areas are called savannas. Okay, where giraffes, zebras, all you could see. And some savannas even you could see in South America, and Llanos and Campos regions is also a savanna type climate. It's also a type of climatic region, savanna type. Then safe dune. We already discussed about Birkins. Just like that, safe dunes are linear sand dunes, ridge of a sand line parallel to the prevailing wind. Actually, Birkins, a crescent-shaped sand dunes. But coming to safes are just like this. The sand dunes are formed due to the parallel motion of wind direction. Look, here you could see clearly, parallelly they are formed. Seismograph, already we discussed what Richter scale. So seismograph is actually an instrument. Okay, seismogram is there, that is the paper. Seismogram. Seismograph is this instrument. Okay, so graph is the instrument, gram is the result, that paper. The instrument used to measure seismic waves or earthquake waves. Sill, we already discussed dike. So another thing similar to dike is igneous, that is sill, an igneous intrusion roughly horizontal to the deposition. Okay, so here these are sill, these are dikes, sill and dike. Horizontal sill, vertical dike. Silt, fine sediment. Silt means fine sediment. Look at the diameter, 0.002 millimeter to 0.02. So that much fine sediments are called as silt. Slate, metamorphic rocks, slate, which is formed from shale or clay. Okay, slate is a dense, fine-grained rock distinguished by character. We all written in slate and all, hope you remember that is nothing but slate is a metamorphic rock. And it has a perfect cleavage also. Cleavage, the breaking. Okay, split into smooth planes. That is what cleavage. So slate have a perfect cleavage. It's a metamorphic rock. Smog. Okay, smog. Smog is nothing but fog plus smoke, giving smog. Fog is actually a cloud forming condition in the lower atmosphere. Actually, fog is also a cloud, but formed in the lower atmosphere. Actually, clouds will form in upper atmosphere, but fog is formed on lower atmosphere. But when it mixed with the harmful air particles or smog, it results in smog condition. In Delhi and all, smog is very dangerous. Snow line, very important word. Snow line. Already, I think I have discussed when we discussed permafrost, ice cap, and all. It's an altitude above which permanent snow exists. For every mountains, there will be a snow line, but the snow line will change. Sometimes will move upwards or to downwards. Due to the climate change, snow lines will be changed. And just below the snow line only, the vegetation will be seen. There, this diagram surely help you. Above snow line, no vegetation will be found. Okay, especially coniferous forest and all are confined below snow line. Next word is solifluction. Solifluction, again a movement related to soil movement. It's a process whereby thawed surface soil creeps downslope over a permanently frozen subsoil. Okay, so solifluction happens in a permafrost region. Spit. Actually, with the help of this diagram, it's very easy to understand. Bay, we already discussed. Lagoon, we already discussed. Barrier island, it is very clear from that island, all three sides, all four sides bounded by water. Then barrier, it's just like a a blocked condition. So it's a barrier island. Spit means a narrow bank of sand and shingle between, built out into an estuary by the process of long shore drift. Simply, spit means just like a small, like this. A landform will be ejected towards the sea. Okay. Then Tombola also here it is shown. Tombola we will discuss anyway. It's again also a landform created due to sea waves. So this spit, bay, lagoon, all are created due to this sea wave action. Spring. Not a season also there is a season called spring, but here it is related to the water, running water movement, that is emergence of underground water stream at a surface, often occurring where impermeable rocks underline say permeable rocks. Permeable means permeability, the water, the rocks which allow the water to flow, where impermeable means not allowing it to flow. Okay, so the spring, actually there you could see there is a water table, there is a perched aquifer and an impermeable level. So above the, in between this permeable and impermeable level or water layer, the springs are formed. And springs may be hot springs. Hot springs means hot water will become outwards. Why? Because of the internal temperature change. And then stack, another sea wave feature is stack. With the help of the diagram, it is very clear. These features are called stacks, separated from a cliff or just an headland. So it's a coastal feature resulting from collapse of natural arc. Natural arc means in this picture also they could see this is arc. This is a natural arc. This is a natural arch. From here, due to wave action, again this part will be separated, forming stacks. Stalactite and stalagmite. We already discussed about karst topography. Karst topography, right? So, cave. At that time, I discussed about cave. So, inside this cave, some limestone. Here, the main feature is limestones, karst topography. So, inside a cave, some features will be just falling from the roof due to the deposition, mainly depositional features there. Then due to this deposited down in the floor, what will be created? Stalagmite will be created. So stalactites from the roof or just upside down, and stalagmite, that means upward from the cave floor. So stalagmite, stalactite, stalactite from roof caves, while stalagmites from the cave floor. Okay, both the things are mentioned here. Then straight channel or passage. Strait, Park Strait. India Sri Lanka is the border, right? So that region is known as Park Strait. Bering Strait. There are so many famous straits in the world. Bering Strait, the famous, which divides Asia and North America. So strait or channel or passage is a narrow water body or water between two land masses. There you could see there is a famous strait. Then strata, nothing but layer. Strata, stratus. There is a cloud called stratus, layered cloud. Here, there it is the word stratus. So the stratus is a layered. So strata means nothing but layer, but here layers of rock imposed one upon the other, especially sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed in this strata type. Okay, mixture of different rock structures. Stratus. Then stratosphere, again layered layered atmospheric layer, which lies immediately above troposphere. Where in this stratosphere, where stratosphere is famous for ozone layer. Above 50 kilometers from the surface, we have the ozone layer. And another important feature of stratosphere is the hike in temperature. Temperature is very high. Then stratus, layered clouds. Look, cirrus we discussed, cumulus we discussed, cumulonimbus we discussed. Just like that, stratus are layered clouds. Next word is sustainable development. It's a type of economic development where development should take place. Development should take place without compromising the future generation. So there will be a generation coming up. We need to compromise the resources or our development for the future generation. Okay, that is what sustainable development means. Development for the future, simply development for the future. Then coming to T, taiga. Tundra, just like another biome is taiga, where coniferous forest, especially coniferous forest and the Siberian Canadian region and all are known as taiga. South of Arctic or tundra, okay, just below the Arctic or tundra, taiga vegetation or taiga biome you could see. Temperate climate, already you know that means tropical climate is there. So just above the tropic, temperate climate or climate prevailing in mid-latitudes. Climate prevailing in mid-latitudes is known as temperate. Tides, the movement of ocean or water body. The alternative rise and fall of seawater or the surface of the sea approximately twice a day. Okay, we call by the name what neap tide and spring tide or high tide or low tide. Likewise, also we can say why this happened due to the gravitational pull of moon and the sun. There you could see moon, full moon, or there are different phases of moon. Anyway, due to this gravitational pull of the sun and the moon, these types of tides takes place. Then tombolo, already we discussed that. Then what spit and all. So tombolo, here you could see a spit which extends to join an island to a mainland. An island to a mainland. A spit is created to join this island. Okay, that is called tombolo. Sometimes this tombolo will be covered with due to the ocean movement and all. Sometimes it may covered with the ocean water. Otherwise, we can just walk over to through the tombolo. Then tornado. Tornado. A violent storm. Tornado, unlike cyclone, again, it's almost related to that, but it's a violent storm with the winds circling our world around the small area, extremely low pressure. So center is low pressure. The low pressure center will be there, and the wind whirl or the violent storms will be created, characterized by a dark funnel-shaped cloud. That means the cloud will look like this. Okay, funnel-shaped cloud. And here, look at the speed. Unlike the tropical cyclones and all, it's about 300 meter per hour, or 480 miles. Sorry, meter, not miles. Okay, sorry, miles per hour or 480 kilometer per hour. So that is the velocity of this tornado. So very high speed wind. Okay. Then transhumance. Okay, transhumance. The practice whereby herds means the people who carrying animals along with them. of farm animals are moved between regions of different climates. Actually, this happens between a mountain, upward, from a mountain to the valleys. Due to climate change, they will move from, during summer season, they will move upwards. Upwards, why? Because a cool climate will be here in the mountain top. And during winter season, they will move downwards. So this movement of people or herds is known as transhumance. Tributary, already we discussed distributary, rivers and all. Tributary is nothing but streams of river which feeds into a larger river. Okay, so tributaries form large river. For example, the 5 tributaries of Indus forming Punjab. Okay, the Sutlej, Jhelum, Devi, Bees, Sutlej, Bees, Chenab, all are the 5 tributaries which form the land Punjab, land of 5 rivers. Tropics, very easy, that means nothing but, already you heard about tropics, the area just between 0 degree to 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degree south of equator is known as tropics. This region is tropical. The climate here is tropical climate. India, we can't say that completely India is tropical, but most of the part you know that it's like Tropic of Cancer is just passing through the center of the India. So almost the area it is tropical area in India, but North India, okay, North India it is temperate. Trough is an area of low pressure. Actually, trough means a low pressure center. Low pressure not sufficiently well defined and regarded as depression. Sometimes they are called as depression. So these troughs create cyclones in Bay of Bengal and all. Next word is tsunami. Very common and used. Now we are familiar with this word. Tsunami is an underwater earthquake. Okay, it's actually an underwater or submarine earthquake. Japan, Indonesia, all are vulnerable to the tsunami. Then tundra, taiga, already we discussed taiga. So tundra is a barren bare rock plains far north of North America and Eurasia. For the subarctic conditions prevail here. So vegetation, climate, the living condition, everything will be different based on the region. Okay, just about taiga. Coming to U-shaped valley. Already we discussed U-shaped valley in the previous words. It's related to glacier valleys. Coming to V, valley. Valley is nothing but a long depression in the earth's surface, mainly formed due to river formation. Okay, rivers create valleys or mountain valleys. We can say mountain valleys, mainly erosional activities. Volcano, again, it's a landform formed due to the fissure in the earth crust through which magma comes out or lava comes out. V-shaped valley, very picturesque image is given here, a beautiful picturesque image is given here. Due to rivers, V-shaped valleys are created, unlike U-shaped valley where glaciers formed. Coming to W, waterfall. Rapids, we already discussed, step-like thing, which eventually a downfall will happen to the water, creating, again, irregular rock strata or alternative rock strata, hard, soft, likewise, creating waterfall. The waterfall and all are formed, or rapids are formed in the upper course of a river. Meander, middle course. Okay, delta and all are in the lower course. So gorges, valleys, V-shaped valleys, waterfalls and all are in upper course. Meander, Oxbow Lake and all in the middle course. Delta in the lower course. Then next word is watershed. You know that time is running up almost 2.5 hours. We'll wind up. Only few words are there. W, X, Y, Z. Okay, X there is no words. Y and Z are only one word. Okay, so don't worry. We'll wind up soon. So watershed, the boundary, often a ridge or a high ground between two river basins. So a river basin we already discussed. For example, I will draw and show it. This is a river basin with its tributaries and all. This is another river basin. So for example, Ganga and Brahmaputra. So this is a river basin, another basin. So here there will be a ridge-like feature. So this sometimes a mountain So sometimes a forested area or sometimes a plain. So that region is known as the watershed. Okay. Watershed means it's a boundary between two river basins. Next, water table. With the help of this diagram, water table you will understand. It is nothing but the level below the ground in which permanently saturated. So, for example, when we dig a well in our house, any well, normal well or bore well, any well, a tube well, any well, we get water from the water table. Okay, so we need to dig till we reach the water table where saturation, zone of saturation, where water is stored. Okay, that is water table. Next, weather, climate, long term, weather, short term, in a particular area at a particular point of time. Weather at 12 p.m., weather at 2:30, likewise we will say. Weathering, already we discussed erosion, denudation. So weathering is nothing but breaking down of rocks in situ. In situ means at the place itself. They won't be eroded or moved to a place. At that place itself, erosion takes place. That is in situ erosion, weathering. Wind vane, one of the last instruments we are going to study, wind vane. Surely, compared to anemometer, where we discuss the velocity, coming to wind vane, direction is measured. Sometimes a hen is also shown here. In some wind vane, hen is also placed at the top. Okay, so to get the direction, east, west, north, south, from where it is going, we will get with the use of wind vane. Finally, X, sorry, no, there is no word X. I just, X also, there are words, okay, xerophites, there are so many words in X also. I just skip that. So, why Yardang? One of the wind erosional feature related to wind movement. Pedestal rock in an arid region, wind erosion concentrated near the ground. Okay, actually, it is a pedestal due to the wind action, similar due to wind action from all sides. A pedestal rock like structure will be created. Okay, so that's all about. We finished till Z, the last alphabet. Okay. And again, I am telling one day over, there are a lot of words. We can't take it in one class, but sorry for that. I have taken 2.5 hours, almost 2.5 hours. Why? Because to cover these words, we need more time. Okay. Again, I just go through. I hope I have touched all the words and I hope it is clear to you.